I am Dr. Rizwan Gilani. I am a consultant orthodontist. Plus, I also teach in a dental college in Savangi. I work as associate professor there. And first of all, I would like to thank the Rotaract Club of Medicrew and especially Vishnu and Tejas for giving me this opportunity to present something and share my knowledge with you all. So without wasting much time, I will directly come on to the presentation and the topic for today's presentation, that is case report, the documentation and publication. Okay. So I will be in brief explaining you, keeping my talk very short about what is case report, how a case report is documented or written, what are the rules, what is the checklist of it, what are the different publication houses where you can send your case report for publication, what are the things which you have to take care of before you send your manuscript for publication, and how a small case which is unique can fetch you a lot of credit and lot of name in the research world. Okay, so as I told you, so the purpose of today's workshop is to describe what is case report documentation and publication. Okay. So before going into case report, all of you should know, or all of you must be already knowing what is a research. Okay, because case report is something that is related to research. Okay. So as healthcare providers or as academicians or as teachers, we all are, sometimes motivated, sometimes uh, forced to do research. Okay, and research is very important because it keeps our knowledge updated. Okay, so what is research? And it is very well explained here that we all possess a virtual instinct of inquisitiveness. Okay, we all want to know something more, something which is unanswered. Okay, so when the unknown confronts us, we wonder, we think, we imagine, and our inquisitiveness makes us grow and attain full and fuller understanding of the unknown. So this is research. So the basic thing that is required for a research, any kind of research, let it be an article, let it be a case report, let it be a systematic review, what is most important is our inquisitiveness to know something more. Okay, so this inquisitiveness is the mother of all knowledge, and the method which a man employs for obtaining the knowledge of whatever is unknown can be termed as research. Research can mean research, implying that the subject matter is already known to us, but for one reason or another, it needs to be studied again. So there is a need for something to be studied again. Alternatively, if you see, research can also be expressed as re-search. And in this case, it typically means investigating a new problem or phenomena. So research basically means to find out something which is already known, but with a newer dimension. So research is common parlance and it refers to a search for knowledge. So one can also define research as scientific and systematic search for pertinent information on a specific topic. In fact, research is an art of scientific investigation. We all are very much familiar with this investigation series and CID and all. So what they do is they kind of investigate the crime scene. So similarly, research is something where we investigate some topic, some fact, and try to find out something new out of that topic or that research. Okay, so with that brief introduction or brief introduction of research, let us in short see what is the definition of research. Okay, so research is an organized and systematic way of finding answers to the question. Okay, so whenever you want to do research, you need to answer some questions, and those questions are nothing but your inquisitiveness to know something. Okay, so these are the questions that arise in you. That is the quest, that is the thirst that you have about a particular topic, about a particular subject, or about a particular area, which you need to find answers for. So that is basically research. So in today's presentation also, I will try to explain you what is a case report, how to write case report, and what are the things related to case report in a question answer form. So I'll be putting across a question and I'll be answering that question so that you all can understand better. If you feel any time that you are not understanding something or you have your question, please keep it to yourself, and at the end of the presentation, we will take on those questions. Okay. So let us first see what is a case report. Now, this is a question many of you must be having. All of you must have heard about what is an article, what is a publication, what is, because you keep reading about these articles and all in the newspaper. But case report is something which is very much restricted to the field of medicine. Okay, so this case report basically means to report a new finding, a new diagnosis, a new problem, a new disease that a patient is suffering from. Okay, so in medicine, a case report is a detailed report of the symptoms, signs, diagnosis, treatment, and follow-up of an individual patient. Now, case reports may contain a demographic profile of that patient, but usually it describes an unusual or a novel occurrence. Okay, I'll give you a very small and a familiar example. All of you must have heard about Down syndrome. Okay, so today all of us are so much familiar with this syndrome that when we see a patient of Down syndrome, we can identify that, okay, the following person might be having a Down syndrome because of the clinical features that the patient presents with. Okay, so that was a novel or a unique identification of a case long back. But because people or because the medical professionals went on reporting those cases, a lot of clinical features, a lot of problems that these patients have and their treatment modalities came up. And that is how case reports are important. Okay, so it is basically reporting of a case which is unusual, which nobody has even heard about, or something that is different. Like for example, in Down syndrome also, there are certain features which might not have been described till now. So if you come across a Down syndrome patient with some unusual finding or a novel finding, you can report that as a case report. Now, what is the purpose of a case report? As I was telling you, case reports are professional narratives that provide feedback on clinical practice guidelines and offer a framework for early signals of effectiveness, adverse events, and cost. They can be shared for medical, scientific, or educational purposes. Okay, so most of us would be thinking that why is it required to report a case? We come across a case, we treat the case, we send the case. Then why should we report that case? Because for reporting a case, you need to document that case. You need to have a proper demographic details of the patient. You need to have the photograph. You need to have the follow-up records of the patient. So why is it needed to report a case? Okay, it is important to report a case because knowledge is something that is grown or that increases by sharing your knowledge. Okay, knowledge never decreases when you share something. So if you report a case, somebody else who comes across a similar case with some alternative finding can report that case, and then that's how the series of cases goes on being recorded or reported, and that leads to a lot of improvement in the medical healthcare that we provide to the patient. So that is the purpose of a case report. Now, what does the case report include? This is another question that most of us come across, that what should we include in a case report? Okay, so case report is, you can say, similar to the articles that you publish and the format of articles that you follow. but it basically should have these five things. First is a small abstract. Abstract is like, a short description about what your case report is about. Second is the introduction with a literature review. Okay, introduction where you introduce the case which is unique, which has certain features which were not reported, along with the literature review. Literature review is something related to that patient or that case that you are reporting, which is already published. May not be the exact words or exact literature that you are reporting will be present, but little bit around the bushes, you will find the literature review of that particular subject or that particular case that you are reporting. After introduction, you should have or you should do a description of the case. That is, you should in detail describe what are the clinical features, what are the investigations that you did, and what were the findings of those investigations, and then you should discuss in detail about the literature review that is present and a brief summary of the case. So this is basically a research gap that you come across, that this was the literature reported before I reported my case, and these are the shortcomings, or this is the gap, or this is something that is not reported till date, and that's why I'm reporting this. And in the end, you should have a conclusion that what is the purpose of reporting the case. Okay. Now, how do you write a case report? This is what we are here today to understand and learn how to write a case report. Okay. So the structure of a case report, as I already told you, should have abstract, introduction, the case description, the discussion, the conclusion, and in the end, the patient's consent. Now here, patient consent is important because whenever you send a case report and it gets published in some journal, some newspaper, some magazine, or it gets published online in some online journal, the patient should not later object that my case was reported and it is now public without my consent. So apart from the introduction, the abstract, the discussion, and everything that you write, a patient's consent is very important when you write or when you report a case. Okay, so always remember, whenever you are writing or submitting a case report, the consent of the patient is important. Now, another question that we all come across or we must have thought about is, what is the difference between a case study and a case report? I request everybody to please mute yourself. And is it getting very bored? Please stop me if it is getting very bored. I can go a bit slow if you want. Fine?
No, sir, it's perfect.
Okay, thank you. Now, this is another question that we come across is, what is the difference between a case study and a case report? Okay, so case studies are widely used in psychology to provide insight into unusual conditions. Okay, so these are the series of studies which are reported, especially in fields like psychology, where they provide an insight into unusual conditions. Okay, whereas a case study, also known as a case report, is an in-depth or intensive study of a single individual or a specific group, while a case series is grouping of similar cases or studies or case reports together. So basically, the difference between a case study and a case report is, case study consists of a series of case reports, whereas case report is of a particular or an individual patient. So when you compile all the case reports of similar types or similar subjects and you publish something, it's like a review of the case report is known as a case study. Okay, so case reports are case series or case study research are descriptive studies that are prepared for illustrating novel, unusual, or atypical features identified in patients in medical practice, and they potentially generate new research questions. Now, research question is something like your aim for doing a research or aim for reporting a case. So, more the number of case reports come, the more research questions get generated and the more research comes into the literature world. Now, how do you review a case report? Okay. Now, the tips for reviewing a clinical manuscript. Review in the sense, how will go through or critically analyze the case report. Okay. So the first thing is you should follow the basic principles of peer review. Okay. So if some manuscript comes to you for review, or if somebody from your friends tell you that I have reported this unusual case, so can you please go through this and let me know if everything is fine. So you just have to read the case report and make sure that whatever is mentioned there is, in a proper language, proper grammar, proper sentence framing, and there is no bluff in the case report that you are writing. Apart from that, while writing a case report, you should always remember that what is your target audience. For example, if I am taking a lecture for an undergraduate student, the things that I will be covering in my lecture will be different than when I am taking the same topic lecture for a postgraduate student. So my target audience is different. So when you are writing a manuscript, you have to keep your target audience in mind. If you want to report the case to common man, it should be in a different language, in a different form, in a form basically that will be understood by the target audience. Whereas if you are reporting the same case to the medical professional or your own colleague or your own fraternity, then the language that you use for writing a case report will be different. Okay? And look for a well organized and structured format for writing a case report. I will be showing you a checklist of the manuscript that is required before you submit it for a case report. Okay, and consider the application to professional practice. Okay, mostly case reports are not reported to general population. 90% of the time they are reported to the professional practitioner only. So you have to be very careful when you are reporting such cases to professional practitioners, because they have the knowledge of that particular case or similar types of cases. So you should not put any bluff or anything that you have not come across just to make or increase the fanciness of the case report. Then the fifth thing is establish the elements of the case study. You have to in specific describe what are the unique features of your case. Okay, your case should not be same as the case somebody else has already reported. Okay, it should not be same as somebody has already reported. So you should establish the elements of the case study. And the last thing is conflict of interest. Whenever you publish a case report, there will be 2, 3, 4, 5 authors whose name will be there in that case study. So before you put somebody's name, before you add somebody's interest, or before you add somebody's data in your case report, there should be clear mutual understanding between you and your colleague, so that later there should not be any conflict. That this was my case, but he reported it. This was his case, but he reported it before me. It should not happen. So to make that clear, there should be a conflict of interest. So most of the journals, when you send your articles for publication, or when you send your case reports for publication in some journals, they will always send you a conflict of interest form before finally publishing your case. So all these things should be reviewed for a clinical manuscript. Okay, so this is how you review a case report before you send it. Now, another question that all of us must be thinking about is how long should be a case report? Like when you publish some articles, there will be some word limit. There will be some page limit, that your article should not be of so and so. It should not exceed so many words. It should not exceed so many pages. So similarly, case report also has some restrictions. But usually case reports are very small. Most of the journals you will find case reports of 1 or maximum 2 pages, including the diagram. Okay, but there are certain journals who will give you a word limit. It differs from journal to journal and platform to platform. If you are sending it online, maybe there is no word limit. Okay, but if you are sending it to a journal that is coming in hard copy, so they have a count of the number of pages that the journal can have in order to reduce the cost. So there they may give you some word limit. Okay, so the word count for case report may vary from one journal to another, but generally it should not exceed 1500 words. Okay, therefore your final version of the report should be clear, concise, and focused, and include only relevant information with enough detail. You should not go on writing pages and pages about the case, thinking that if I write more, my case report will have more impact, or my case report will be more favorable for publication. It is not like that. It should be short. At the same time, it should be sweet enough for the reader to read it and to remember. Okay, so that is how long your case report should be. Now, when are case reports most useful? Okay, you have sent a case, you have done all the hard work that is required for writing that case report. But when and where are these case reports most useful? Okay? The unique cases that cannot be explained by known diseases or syndromes. There can be some unique cases, some unique syndromes, some unique problems that cannot be described or that has not been explained till now. So maybe your case report can be a small light in that dark area, from where people can start reporting such cases, and then the treatment of such cases can come up. Okay, so that's where case reports are very useful, and you should not hesitate in reporting such cases. Now, cases that show an important variation of a disease or condition. There may be certain cases or diseases that are already reported, but if your case report presents with a certain variation in the condition, for example, I'll give you the latest trend that is going on, COVID-19. Okay, so if suppose you have a Down syndrome patient and his condition or his comorbidity along with COVID-19, or his condition after taking the vaccination, which has not been reported till now. So that adds up to the uniqueness of your case report. So if you have a Down syndrome patient who has taken COVID-19 vaccination and has developed certain condition or has developed certain disease, you can report that as a unique case so that people can start researching on that, and that condition can also be treated. Also, cases that show unexpected events that may give new or useful information. Okay, there also your case reports are very useful. And most importantly, cases in which one patient has two or more unexpected diseases or disorders. As I already told, your case report might be reported before, but the unexpected diseases or the disorders along with that can become very useful in the research world. Then once you have written your case report, the next question that comes to the mind is where to publish these case reports. Okay, many times we are unaware of the places and we are unaware of the journals where we can publish these case reports. So these are certain official and standard web markers, or you can say the websites that are available where you can search or find out the names of the journals or your publisher who will be publishing your case report. And apart from that, these are some of the online databases like Google Scholar, NLM Medis, PubMed. You all must have heard about PubMed Central, iWirePress, Stanford University, Searchworks, Lane Library, EndNote, etc., etc. These are some of the standard online databases where you can search for a particular journal or a case report publisher who will be publishing your case in a genuine and a standard journal. Okay. Now, are case case reports considered as research? Now, people who are in academics or people who are in research must be aware of this, that case reports are not considered as research. Okay, they are not exactly considered as research under most of the circumstances. Although identifiable information about a patient may be collated in preparing case reports, the intent of preparing case reports is usually related to patient care. Means case reports are not something which is, where you are researching from the scratch. You're just reporting that the following patient came to you and the following treatment you advise the patient and then the patient got well. So case reports are not actually research, but they are very useful in patient care or in developing the patient care. So this is one question which many people ask me, that are case reports considered research? And I always tell them that no, they are not actually research, but yeah, the points or the credit that you get for publishing a case report is almost equivalent to publishing a research article. Now, this is a care checklist that I was talking about. I hope all of you can see this checklist. If you want, I can share this checklist later with Vishnu and you all can have a copy of that. This is a care checklist which should be followed before sending your case report for publication. Okay. So the first thing that should be there in your checklist is the title. Okay. So the diagnosis or the intervention of primary focus followed by the word case report should be there. Means your topic of your case report, for example, Down syndrome, a patient with Down syndrome, hyphen a case report. A case report word should be there in your title whenever you are writing a case report. And the second thing that should be there in your manuscript is keywords. Okay. So 2 to 5 keywords that identify, diagnose or intervene in the case report, including case report. Matlab, keywords are something by which somebody can search your publication. Okay. So apart from the word case report, suppose Down syndrome, patient, these are some of the keywords of your case report that you should mention in your manuscript so that people can easily search your case report with those. Then abstract, introduction, patient information, clinical findings, timeline, diagnosis, assessment, therapeutic intervention that you did in that following unique case, follow-up record, discussion, patient perspective, and informed consent. All this I have already covered to you. So this is just a checklist for that. So whenever you are writing a case report, just follow this checklist. That these are the things which I should not miss out on writing the case report. So starting from title till the informed consent of the patient, everything should be included in your case report. Now, what makes your manuscript a good manuscript? So suppose you write a manuscript, let it be research, let it be your case report. Okay. So once you write it, you have to make sure that it is concise, but at the same time powerful. It should have an impact on the reader, it should have an impact on the publisher, and at the end, it should have an impact on the complete fraternity. It should be of some use to the people. It should not be just reported for the sake of reporting. So it should be concise, but at the same time powerful. And it should be like a story. Everybody likes stories, right? The movies, the web series, everything that you see has a story, and that's why you like it. So your manuscript should also be written in the form of an interesting story. It should not be very long, but it should be story-like. And to the point, only what are the positive findings or only what are the key things that you want to report of that particular patient should be included in the case report. It should be free from any grammatical or stylistic errors, as I already told you. Go through the manuscript again and again before you send it for publication. There should be no grammatical error. It makes a very bad impression in front of the publisher when you send manuscripts with grammatical errors. There are a lot of grammar softwares that are now available where you just put your manuscript and they will tell you what are your grammatical errors. Like Grammarly is one software. You just upload your manuscript there and it will highlight the grammatical mistake that you have done, and so that you can correct it and later send it for publication. Recognizing the contribution of others. Suppose your other friends or other colleagues have also helped you in writing that manuscript, or taking the photographs of that, or they must have provided you some features or some records of the patient, similar patients that they have. So their contributions should also be recognized. You should mention them. Okay. And most importantly, a case report should be technically correct, because as I told you, the people who will be reading your case report will be of your fraternity. They will mostly be the medical people. So you cannot just write something and expect that nobody can notice that. Now, another important thing while doing any research or while writing any manuscript or a case report is the management tool. Okay. Now, all of you must be knowing that whenever you write a case report or whenever you write an article, you have to, in the end, quote the references, right? You have to tell them from where you got these all lines that you have written, and that has to be arranged properly in a proper sequence, either alphabetically or year-wise, right? Which year it was published, like either it can be in the ascending order or in the descending order. Descending in the sense, what is the latest thing published in 2021, and then you go backward. Okay. So whenever you come across these articles, whenever you come across these references online, there are certain reference management tools which are available, where the only thing that you have to do is search that article through that reference management tool, and when you download that article, it automatically arranges itself in the alphabetical or yearly order, however you want it, ascending, descending, Z to A to Z, whatever, however you want to arrange it, you can arrange it. Okay. So this is the problem that usually we see, that whenever we refer some articles, some books, some conference papers, some photographs, okay, and we try to put them as citations or reference list or bibliography, there is lots of typing error, there is lots of referencing that goes missing. Sometimes you just copy paste it from somewhere and then it does not come in the proper formatting, and at the end you commit many mistakes. So there are certain reference management tools like Zotero. I'll tell you what it is, which if you use, it acts like a mediator between the references and your article. Okay, so it very nicely, properly organizes and arranges your references so that your articles are arranged in a proper sequence and you don't make any mistakes. Now, why use a reference management tool is because you manage your bibliographic researches and integrate with your word processing software to generate in-text citations and bibliography. All of you must be using Word or PowerPoint or Notepad to write your research. Okay? So these tools save bibliographic data of information resources from online databases. So you don't have to worry about arranging them and making them in a proper format. The software will do it for you, and most of these softwares are free of cost. Okay? It makes it easier to automatically switch to different citations and styles. Like there are some journals which tell you to use Vancouver, some will tell you to use Times New Roman format or etc. So you can sync and save references across multiple devices such as your desktops, laptops, tablets, mobile, so that you can access the references from any device. It is something like a Dropbox or your Google Drive that you use. But it at the same time, apart from making it accessible to different devices, it keeps your data in a very organized fashion. Zotero is a free, that is open source reference management tool that recognizes bibliographic information on books, journals, articles, and other resources from websites and databases and extract metadata from these sources. So this is Zotero software which you all can download and you can start using it. Initially, you will find it difficult. You may not be finding it very easy to use. But as you use it and as you explore more and more features of it, it is a very useful tool for you. Okay, so it stores all the related citations, PDF files, images, and links in your library, which is a password protected thing, and it creates the citations and bibliography in Word or OpenOffice document and publishes shared libraries for your organization, class, or research group. And it is available for Mac, Windows, and other Linux operating systems. So it's not an issue if you are using an Apple laptop or Windows 7 or Windows 10. It doesn't matter. It is available for all the versions. Okay, so this is the link which is provided. You just have to type zotero.org in your Google Chrome or any browser that you are using, and you can download Zotero. Now, once you have done everything and you have reached till referencing, the final step is the revision and proofreading. Okay, so as a responsible author, okay, whenever you are preparing a case report for submission, there are certain things which you should always keep in mind. As I already told you, your case report should be new and unique. Your manuscript should have properly been checked by all the listed authors. If you are writing 4 names in your case report, all the 4 authors must have gone through the manuscript. You should obtain copyright permission if some figures, tables, if you are copying something from somewhere or putting it somewhere just to explain it, you need to have that copyright permission. It should have proper affiliation from your organization, from your department, from your college, or from your university, and you should always acknowledge people who have helped you in writing the manuscript. So this is how the process of publication of a case report or any article happens. Okay. First, you have to complete your research, or you have to complete writing your manuscript. And once the manuscript is prepared, you have to submit this manuscript in the prescribed format as per the journal where you are sending this. And once you submit this manuscript is, sent to certain knowledgeable people of that particular area, of that particular field, who are known as reviewers. Okay, so they review or they critically evaluate your manuscript, and the decision is then on them whether to accept your case report or your publication or to reject it. Or if not rejection, they may send you your manuscript with certain revisions. They may tell you that this much is fine, but you need to explain this part better. So that is known as revision. So when it comes for revision, you have to do the revision and resubmit it in the same place. And when you resubmit, it is again reviewed, re-reviewed, okay, and then the final decision on whether to accept or reject your article is done. And if your article or if your case report is accepted for publication, then an acceptance letter is sent to you and your research is published. So this is the whole process of publication which is there. Now the most important factor that influence whether your case report will be considered or reviewed for publication, as I already told you, are the title, the abstract, the cover letter, and your reputation based on your previous work. Suppose you had sent a previous case report in the same journal or in the same publishing house, and it has given them very good response. So that will have some impact, or that will have to soft corner for that journal or that publisher to publish something for you, or to publish something that you have sent. But that is secondary. The most important is the content of your manuscript or the content of your case report. Now, once you have decided on sending it to some journal for publishing by searching it on online or the online databases that I showed you, the decision for the journal, many times becomes critical, because this journal is also good, that journal is also good. So what I would suggest is you should aim high. Okay, you should first tier journals, or you should go for very high standard journals if you have time and temperament to write a good manuscript. If you feel that it is something really unique and you have written it very nicely, you should always go for some standard journal and decide the target journal before writing or drafting the article. Because if you already have in mind that I have to send my manuscript to so and so journal, then you will prepare your manuscript with those standards. Okay, and prefer those journals which publish similar work. Okay, like there are certain journals which only publish case reports, or the journals that you are citing for your work. If suppose you are from physiotherapy, or if you are from medicine, or if you are from Ayurveda, you should target those journals who is publishing similar kind of case reports, because there you will get more number of citations. Because people who will visit those journals will be the interested people in that topic. You should keep all these things in mind before deciding the journal. Now, how to find the impact factor and rank of the journal? This is something which very few people know about, which is known as Journal Citation Report (JCR), or it is also called as SJR. Okay, so the journal list from the reputable organization is known as SJR, which is of Scopus, and there is also something which is known as by research. How many people are citing it? How many people are quoting your articles in their research? So based on these all things, the standard of the journal is decided. So whenever you send your case report for publication, always aim for Q1 journals. Q4 are the local journals which will publish anything that you send them with certain guidelines, but it will not have that credit to your name as the Q1 journals will have. Okay. Another question that we come across is, do all journals charge publishing fee for authors? See, many times you get victims of these hacks or these hackers where they claim to be the Q1 and the standard journals, and they promise you that they will publish your manuscript, but you have to pay so and so amount. So, do all journals charge publication fees? No. Reputable publishers, like you must have heard about Elsevier, Springer, Balgarve, etc. These journals offer you two options. One is open access and other is non-open access. So if you choose an open access mode, you have to pay some money to the publisher, but that is all legal if you go to some standard journals. But there are some publishers who also offer open access mode with free of charge. There are certain good impact journals which do not charge you any amount, and there are certain journals which gives you both the options. So if you decide not to pay, or if you select non-payable mode, then your manuscript is available in an abstract form online free of cost. But if somebody wants to access that, then the journal takes money from them if somebody wants a complete article. So don't fall prey to these hackers who claim money for publishing. Now, another one more time, I would like to tell you what are the points to be considered before publishing. The most important, the target audience, the prestige of the journal and your own institution, the access, that is whether it is an open access or a subscribed access, the impact factor of the journal, and the probability of acceptance and publication on time. Okay, these are certain important things that you should research about journal before publishing your research in that journal. Okay, so that's all. I will not bore you all more with more and more information about case report writing and documentation. But in the end, I would like to conclude saying that case reports are the simplest and the easiest for writing and getting published, provided the basic steps in the writing are followed properly. So that's all for me. Once again, I would like to thank the Rotaract Club of Medicrew and especially Vishnu and Tejas for giving me this wonderful opportunity to present something in front of this wonderful audience, and I would like to thank